We're live. Yes.
You tweet.
I'm doing that.
Survivor specialist Phil and Alexa are back. I did not have the thing up. We're a day late, but we're still here, and we're better than ever because we're a day late. But anyway, Survivor. What episode is this? I have like a half full bag of McDonald's next to me that's just all garbage. So I'm like getting home from work. I'm getting there.
This is the episode 9 predictions and power rankings podcast.
There we go. Hey. All right. So it's episode 9 predictions and power rankings. Once again, last week, Desi went home and Phil tried to do something completely different and catch up to Alexa by just randomly putting names in an order. And he put Desi at 4 and Alexa put Desi at 9. So pretty much you've been listening to our predictions and power rankings all season. The power rankings portion has been completely useless, at least coming from my mouth. So hopefully you've been enjoying that because, it's just going to be all things that everybody can hold against me when they're like, this guy thinks he knows everything. And then they just always put up what I did this season because it's pretty dreadful.
Well, to be fair, you are doing pretty poorly in the power rankings. But
yeah.
Did you actually did you do your power rankings yet?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, that's good. And did you actually do them in an order?
No.
Oh, cool. Well, I'll probably win again, which is awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, you know what? You're up by so much at this point that I'm actually going alphabetical order tonight. No, I'm not.
Oh,
but that would have been fun.
Oh, very traditional of you. Very season 1 of you.
Right? I'm pulling the Sean voting strategy. All right. We're going to talk about Survivor.
Yeah,
Last week we lost Desi.
Yeah, weird start. Slow start.
Yeah, right? Slow start. Awkward. I wasn't really ready, but I kind of said I was ready, and then I wasn't. Anyway, okay. So, Desi went home last week. Ponderosa, it's finally back. Exciting. We get exciting Ponderosa. This wasn't the most exciting Ponderosa, but Desi is there showing Miss Fiji how to become Miss Fiji, which was pretty cool. So now if that Miss Fiji loses, then obviously Miss Fiji is rigged.
Spoiler alert, she did not win Miss Fiji. Or no,
wow.
She didn't. I think she was going for Miss World as the Fiji representative. Either way, she didn't win.
Well, like I said, Miss Fiji's rigged because how could Desi, who's been in pageants, teach her and not have her win? I
don't know. And I don't know anything about beauty pageants, but she seemed like she knew what she was talking about, obviously.
I pretty much know what I learned from Miss Ponderosa and Little Miss Sunshine. That's as much as I know about beauty pageants.
That is a great movie.
Yeah. So that's about all I got on that. It wasn't the most exciting Ponderosa, but we will see who ends up joining her. There's only Joe, Cole, and Mike left from her original tribe, so that'll be interesting to see if one of them comes to join her. If Joe comes to join her and he says, I didn't flip, baby girl, and she's like, yeah, but I'm going to, kill you here because, that's why she went home. But what, I was talking to, my parents about, last week's episode with this Desi thing, and they're like, why did they get rid of Desi? Still, oh my God, I feel so bad for her because she went home because of Joe. And I started to think, and I'm like, really? Then she didn't go home because of Joe. She was the target. Because if they really were threatened by Joe, they would have just gotten rid of Joe once the tie happened. So for the tie to happen and then them get rid of Desi anyway, I think that means that Desi was more of their target than Joe really was. And therefore, I don't think Desi necessarily went home because she was aligned with Joe. They actually thought she was a bigger threat and actually didn't have the relationships needed to move forward, I guess.
Yeah, I think, and I'd listened to and read a bunch of Desi's exit interviews, and she was really self-aware in them, saying that even if I hadn't won that first individual immunity challenge, I had made all of the other tribal challenges look so easy. And she wasn't saying it in a cocky way. She just was making them look so easy that even before she had made the merge, people were already looking at her as this huge challenge threat, which she was. And she said that she had approached essentially every single person on that tribe, and no one really expressed interest back at her in working with her. So that probably just stems from her being a natural threat. And I think you were saying that you talked to Adam Klein in the preseason, and he was surprised at how high we were on her because she is such an obvious threat. I mean, they were all threatened by her at the very beginning in the preseason. So I guess shame on us for thinking that she'd be able to hide that. But yeah, I think she tried, and it just didn't really work. You sound like you would say something. I'll say something after.
Yeah. I'm only allowed to go on 10-minute rambles. You can't. You only get 2 minutes. I get 10. But no, all I wanted to say was, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All I wanted to say is Desi had a really interesting point at Ponderosa, and it's exactly what Haley said last season. She said, I'm just not meant for this game. I can't lie like that. I can't do. And that was the same thing with Haley. Haley like knew when she came out of that game, she's like, there's just better players at this game than me. Like, I'm totally fine with it. I'm just not meant to win Survivor. So I think that's kind of like where Desi is. Desi's like probably really would have been a good winner of Survivor, but she's not necessarily a good player of Survivor. And that's, there's like a big difference there, you know? So even though she might be the most well-spoken person in the room every time, and she might be the best at challenges, she just doesn't want to do the Survivor stuff that, you know, the middle ground between her and Joe. She doesn't want to do that. So I mean, you know, Desi's gone. Like I said on the recap, I am kind of happy it was Desi instead of Joe or Ben, because I want to see this feud just keep going. And I'm sure it's going to keep going pretty hard this week. So do you want to say something? You want to get into power rankings? What's going on?
Let's get into the power rankings. Let's do it.
All right, cool. My number one, I got Mike, because Mike still has an idol. So Mike goes nowhere this week. He's also like the least threatening out of the two healers left. And like, I think he's in a pretty good position here of like, he's kind of towing the middle line here. Like you don't really know which side Mike's still going to jump to. And I could see him for like a vote or something, trying to flip some people over to work with Cole and Joe and be like, look, guys, these are numbers right here. Like, let's just do it. Because he's got the ace in the hole that he doesn't really have to worry about going home. So I kind of like Mike's position still. And really my number 1 and 2 last week were Mike and Lauren, and I put Lauren at 2 again, because I just think I wrote about it in the 5. Like, Lauren's position right now, everything she's doing, nobody thinks she's the leader, but nobody thinks she's a threat, and she's pulling all of the strings. She is getting so much pull. She's getting pull on Ben. She's been able to talk to Mike and talk to him about some things. So I really think that Lauren's in a really good spot. And I'm starting to think Lauren might win.
Yeah, I go Mike 1, Lauren 2 as well. And then I know I'm kind of cutting ahead of you, but I've Ryan at number 3. And the reason I said that is because I usually have whoever has a hidden immunity idol at the top. And I have Lauren, who has an advantage. She has now an extra vote with her. She is above someone who is safe at tribal council. And I was pretty surprised that I put her up there, but the more I thought about it, it just kind of made sense, because although Ryan is probably being underestimated by his tribe mates, Lauren is being even more underestimated. And she's the one who does have all of these branched out relationships. They keep talking about her, Ben, and Dr. Mike, and we haven't seen it. But Dr. Mike voted with them this week. He didn't vote with them last week, but they were able to bring him in, albeit he did it because he had to. His hand was forced, but now he's in there. So Mike is an easy number 1 for me. Lauren's a strong number 2. I think she very well could win as well. You've been talking about how a woman is probably going to win this season, and I think Lauren has a really good shot. There was a secret scene of her that came out this weekend, and it sort of dove deeper into why she's playing this game, like playing this game for her daughter, how this advantage will help her with that. And I'm actually surprised it wasn't shown on the show, because it was really, it was really, I don't want to say heartfelt, but it was just really personal. And I think what I like about Lauren is that she is playing this game for her daughter. She's playing this for her family. She's playing this for herself. And it's just so matter of fact. And I think that's what I like about her. There's no BS with her. She just is who she is. And I really, really like that.
Well, and the thing that I get from that, though, is for them to not show that is kind of surprising, because we did get a little bit of her being like, I'm playing this for my daughter. Like, we did get a little bit of that, but maybe we need to see a little bit more of it to really make her more of an emotional investment. Because, I mean, we've seen a couple people cry this season already. You know what I mean? Like, we've seen Ben cry.
Saw Allie cry.
Saw Allie cry, but Allie's gone, so she still probably cried again. We saw JP cry. Okay, maybe we didn't see that.
Did we see JP cry?
No, we didn't see JP cry. But we've seen like a lot of like breakdowns from people already. We had Devin and Ashley. We even had Desi, who's now gone. We have a lot with like Joe and Lauren are both getting the, oh, by the way, here's my family aspect of it. And I think that Lauren has a much better chance to win, obviously, because like Lauren is actually calm, cool, and collected, while Joe's over there, you know, wreaking havoc. But I think that it's going to be like the next few episodes will obviously set it up. But Lauren right now, to me, I think is the front runner. But I don't necessarily know if that's where she's going to be in a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, after this week, she could easily drop down a bunch.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't really like to look, I don't know how to look into secret scenes and whether or not that means someone wins. because a lot, like Devin came out with a really good secret scene. Dr. Mike came out with a really good secret scene about how he trained for like all the slingshot challenges because he knew he wouldn't be good at other types of challenges. Those, I mean, we kind of talked about this when we interviewed Troysian this summer. There's just not the space to fit them all. And then also, you could make the argument that Sarah did not get the family content when she won Game Changers, and her entire game was about her family. So I'm not too concerned that we haven't been shown it because there is still plenty. Well,
everything's kind of changing. I mean, once it was Michelle, and then Adam obviously was going to rely heavily on his family because of his mom. But then, you know, really 2 out of the last 3 winners, it really wasn't too heavy on like, look at these big emotional moments I'm getting. I'm going to say I have Ryan lower down. I know he has the idol, but the thing is, people know he has the idol. And while you would think like Chrissy knowing he has the idol is a good thing for both of their games, it's really a better thing for Chrissy's game. Because Chrissy knows he has the idol, and if Chrissy really wants to get rid of Ryan, she can easily get rid of Ryan. Because Ryan's not going to see it coming. And if Ryan's walking around showing everybody this idol, now a lot of people in his alliance know. And it looks like there's going to be what? It looked like Devin and
Ben. He told Ben also.
Yeah, he told Devin, he tells Ben, and then Devin ends up telling Ben, or Ben ends up telling Devin, and you find out that way. That kind of feels like a little bit of a betrayal. So I actually think that he could get himself in a little bit of trouble here by showing off this idol so much. I'm going to go Chrissy at 3, Ashley at 4. Still have no idea where Ashley's going to finish. Ashley got no confessionals last week. Not really sure where she's going to finish. But I put Chrissy at 3 because Chrissy knows where the idol is. And even though people are constantly gunning for Chrissy, Chrissy might end up in a Joe situation. And I'm saying that Chrissy's is like unlikable as Joe. But from all these exit interviews, from every single exit interview, people do not really seem too fond of Chrissy. And if that's the case, then maybe Chrissy's going to go on a real deep run here because people on this season are clearly looking to get rid of the people they think can win before they get rid of the people who can destroy their game, which is the situation of Joe versus Desi last week. So if somehow the numbers are flipped, I don't see Chrissy going. In fact, I think Chrissy might be the reason the numbers get flipped to say, let's get rid of Ryan now while he's got the idol, get him the hell out of here, and almost pull like a fast one on them like you did with Zeke and, when it was Zeke versus David, and it's like, who are we going to get rid of? How are we going to do this? And all of a sudden it was like Zeke and David were so tight, and now they're going to cut each other's throats. Like I could seriously see that happening right here.
Yeah, the exit interviews have been really something. I'm curious to see what will happen when someone from that the majority alliance gets voted out, and I would like to see what they have to say. I know there's been a lot of back and forth on these exit interviews and Chrissy, and I'm not saying that they've like put a damper on anything, but I don't know. It's definitely been a little off-putting. I can't really figure out what the right word is, but.
Well, and I'm not going to say that she's like Sugar, but you got to remember, Sugar was a fan favorite put on the Heroes Tribe. No one on her season could stand. I'm not saying Chrissy's that level, but like Sugar got a Heroes edit in Survivor Gabon, a Heroes edit.
But
she's played with 20 people, and I don't think any of them like her. like, and I don't mean to be like rude, but like that's kind of the situation.
Well, the thing that I'm like, I don't want to like go into a whole thing because we could do a whole podcast about this like weird drama, but all of those exit interviews have been people who are not on her alliance, people that like she has sent home. So that's why I like want to hear another side of it. But anyways, I'm really going off topic here. I actually have Chrissy a lot lower. And then I kind of like based what you said about like people getting rid of Ryan. Ryan ended up winning MVP, so I'm currently writing my MVP spotlight for him. And I spend a lot of time talking about his relationship with Chrissy because I think he could cut Chrissy before Chrissy could cut him. I actually think that he would be the one to go for her. But I do still have him high up. I actually go JP 4, Devin 5. I have JP really high because I think he's going to make the final 3. I don't see any reason why they would get rid of him. He's just going to keep hanging up there for me. Maybe if he goes home, that's how you can score a couple power rankings points. But
well, I have him at 5. Spoiler. So nope.
Oh, okay. Just kidding. So I have Devin at number 5. I have him kind of right down the middle, kind of in like your Ashley position, because he very well could be that person where, okay, everyone likes him, he's doing pretty well, and then Wednesday comes and everyone's like, oh my God, we all like Devin, he's got to go. And they just dump him in a second. I think that could very easily happen. Or on the flip side, like I said in my spotlight of him last week, people are just going to underestimate him until he gets to the end. Because I'm telling you, you guys really need to watch his secret scene, because you could be talking to like David Wright with the strategy in what he's saying. It's just his tone of voice that no one takes him seriously. So I think with that, he's going to stay kind of right down the middle. He's not really a challenge threat. He's not the guy who you shoot your stray bullet at when you're trying to get the head of the snake. So that's why I have him at number 5. I have him kind of hanging out right in the middle.
I don't know, though. I think Devin can be pretty good at challenges, and I think last week in that immunity or in the reward challenge, him and JP were just like fire. I mean, they were unbelievable. And I think that Devin, to me, and I don't know if I made this comparison during the podcast or after the podcast last week, but Devin to me feels like Maddie. And there's so many Gabon comparisons to be made to this season, because we're getting, who do we root for? Who do we root for? You have Ben, who's a Marine, breaking down in front of you, and still a little bit of you is saying, kind of hope he goes home this week. Like, we're getting, like, Chrissy making these moves and everything, and then still everybody gets voted out, and it's like, maybe we don't like Chrissy as much as we do. Ryan, maybe we don't like Ryan as much. So there's nobody necessarily to root for, so I'm making a lot of Gabon comparisons. The reason I say Devin is Maddie, everybody likes Devin. And that's the exact position Maddie was in. But Sugar knew that if she took Maddie to the end, Maddie wins it in a landslide. And I honestly don't know if Sugar thought she could beat Bob. I have no idea. I wasn't reading too much about it back at the time of Gabon. But it's interesting to me, like, the way that this is setting up is Devin's your guy to root for, but we've never really seen a Devin win before. So Devin's not going to get this huge edit where it's like, oh my God, like, is he going to get there? Is he going to get there? Like if he just wins one more challenge, he's going to win it all. I don't know if we're necessarily going to get that from him, but like, you're still going to get a very likable guy who, if he made it to the end, he was so close, but he just fell short. And that's what I think is going to happen. I don't think he's going soon. I have him at 6. I have JP at 5. So the more that I watch this, like, Devin just keeps building every week. And like you said, the strategy that he's been talking, he's not a one-note person here. And he is the one who said he wants to come out and, he could be like Fabio. It's there's
your winner comparison.
It's so apparent. But the thing is, Fabio is even more out there than Devin is.
Yeah,
Devin
absolutely.
Devin has his whole head on his shoulders. Fabio, for as much fun as he was, thank God he played Nicaragua.
Yeah, I mean, as you were saying that, I was trying to think of winners who I could compare Devin to, and weirdly enough, like, Michelle is the only person I can think of. And like, because like you said, like, she knows people are going to underestimate her, but she was still playing a game. She was still playing a strategic game. So Devin is the new Michelle. You heard it here first.
Yeah, but not as pretty.
I don't know. Could be.
Well, yeah. Okay.
You did your number 6 already?
Yeah, it was Devin. 5 was JP. Neither of us really talked about JP. Yeah, JP went wire to wire with Cole last week. And I think JP, he's not the biggest threat on that alliance. You know what I mean? So like, even like you were saying, like with Money versus Gen X, even as like that one side starts to like take out each other, they're always going to be looking, how can we get rid of Adam? How can we get rid of David? You're never saying to yourself, how can we get rid of Ken? And that's JP right now. You got to get rid of Chrissy. You got to get rid of Ryan before you get rid of him. So,
and that's the thing. I think everyone knows, both his alliance members and people who aren't in his alliance, they know that he's probably going to make it to the final tribal council, and they know that they're not going to vote for him. I think they would vote for Chrissy or Joe or whoever before they would vote for him, because these people are playing the game, and I think they would vote for someone who is also playing the game really hard. The only thing that, I guess the only argument you have like to try to get someone to get rid of JP is to say he's just taking up space at final tribal. If there's 3 seats, give me a shot at one of those seats. That's about it. For number 6, I have Ashley, and I kind of say the same thing as you. I feel like I'm talking about Desi now, where I just don't know where she stands. We've seen funny Ashley. We've seen her like goofing around, and she said some funny things, but that's it. Because like, now, is she still close with Devin? Is she still into JP? We don't know that, and I thought we were going to get so much of that a little bit ago, and we never have. So what I fear for Ashley is that she's just going to go home, and we're not really going to know why. Because at least Desi, when she went home, It's like, okay, she won an individual immunity challenge. She's extremely likable, very well spoken. Of course, she's going to be the person who goes home, even if her episode isn't framed around her. Mm-hmm. Ashley, I don't know why people would vote Ashley out. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting when she finally does go. Is she going to be the one who gets a stray bullet? And I wouldn't be surprised, but at the same time, we actually have seen a lot of Ashley. And like, I think it's just weird because we haven't necessarily seen like a storyline of Ashley, but we've seen a lot of Ashley. We saw a lot of her bonding with Devin, and when Alan went, that was a big deal. And her with JP at the beginning. And I mean, this is her and JP. Those are like JP and her relationship is not something that we needed to address. Like being completely honest, they could have easily just went past that. Alan still could have gone home, and it wouldn't have made a difference by the time they hit this merge, because like you said, we haven't seen it. So it didn't really matter. So we have gotten a good amount of Ashley, and we've gotten a good amount of Devin. Are we going to end up sitting here like, oh my God, how the hell did Ashley and Devin actually make it to the final three? And they're sitting there next to JP. It's like, how did this happen?
Yeah, that's the thing. I just want to know why. Like, if the her and JP thing isn't a thing, then I at least just want to know that. And the reason that I feel like Ashley isn't going to go far is just because like I haven't been told anything about her in 3 episodes. Someone just said in the live chat that Ethan could be a winner comparison as well.
For Devin?
For Devin. Yeah, that could be a good comparison.
I could see that. Just really likable guy who but I even think Devin's more strategic than Ethan. And the thing with Ethan was Ethan didn't have to play strategically because that's what Lex was there for. Lex was there to slash everybody's throat. I mean, he'll tell you that a million bajillion times. Like he doesn't even care. That's what Lex was there to do. He was there to cut everybody's throat and win the game. And really, Lex is like probably one of the best players to never win, but Ethan got him at the end. He made sure that Kim Johnson liked him more and brought him to the end. And it's the same thing that happened in Gabon. The power went into Sugar's hands, and it was like, what are we going to do? Because Susie can't go home. And she happened to like Bob a little bit more than she liked Maddie. So it's going to be interesting with Devin if he can get to that position. Somebody actually going to say, okay, we'll sit next to Devin at the end.
Yeah, I think now it's just sort of a different like era of Survivor, in that you want to bring the person who you probably don't like to the end rather than the person that you do like.
Exactly. Kim Johnson didn't think she could beat either of the guys, so she brought Ethan because she was like, oh well, at least if I'm not going to beat him, I like him more.
Yeah, for sure. So for my number 7, I have Chrissy. So I have Chrissy like a bit lower than you. And I think that's because you bring up a good point in like, I don't even want to say like comparing her to Joe because they are so incredibly different. But I feel like people would gun for her because now it is very apparent that she is playing this game hard, that she is very strategic, that she is planning 5 steps ahead of everyone. And I couldn't see her flipping with the healers. I could see internally Ryan and Ben, or Ben and Devin. Devin has no relationship. From what we've seen, Devin has no relation to Chrissy. So that could be Devin's big thing. And like I said earlier, I really think that Ryan could turn on her. So I'm nervous for her in that aspect. And then I go Ben at number 8 because he didn't have a great episode. The thorn in his side is coming back to camp with him, and he's going to keep poking him because that's why he's here at this point. He's there to just poke Ben for 3 more days.
Yeah, I have Ryan at 7, which I already talked about why I have him there. I actually go Cole 8, Joe 9, Ben 10.
Wow.
Here's the reason I have Ben at 10. He hates Cole and he hates Joe, and they're both still in the game. And when that happens, you get the tunnel vision, and all of a sudden your alliance starts saying, God, Ben is losing his mind. We can't keep this guy. He is pushing way too hard for them. We can get rid of Cole and Joe at any time. Why do we have to get rid of them now? They're never going to win the game. And I'm telling you, people like Ryan and Chrissy who are sitting there saying, we have a 7-person alliance. Let's get rid of somebody in our own alliance then. Ben can beat us. Joe and Cole can't. So let's keep Joe and Cole. What do we need to get rid of them now for? Cole is the least threatening person out there on the island right now. Leave him.
Yeah.
So I like Ben going because of that.
So I'm completely with that. Just if I'm that 7-person alliance, I can let Cole stay, because I think even if Cole gets to the final Tribal Council, like he'll get the healers votes probably.
Maybe.
I don't maybe. And like maybe people will start to like him, but I feel like people dislike him so much that that's kind of a lost cause. The thing about Joe is every minute that Joe is at camp, he's looking for an idol. And and that's why I'm like still iffy on them getting rid of Desi instead of Joe, because from what we've seen, Desi isn't looking for a hidden immunity idol. Joe, it is now common knowledge that he's found 2. No one else has found 2. So just keeping him there just really, I guess Ryan, like, kind of.
Well, let me ask you, if Joe finds an idol, who's he getting rid of?
I think he could get rid of, I think Ben is the easy conversation, but I think he would probably shoot for like a Devin, or he would probably go for like the second tier member.
I don't know though. I think he just goes for Ben because Ben is somebody who can win, and Ben is trying to get him.
Well, in that case, yeah, but in that case, like, then, yeah, no. So that's what I'm saying. Like, why even give the option of that happening? Why even give Joe the chance? Like, I'm asking that alliance now. Like, I don't know why they're doing that.
That's why I don't get why they got rid of Desi instead of Joe, and that's why I keep saying it's not Desi didn't go home because of Joe. Desi went home because of Desi, because they had the opportunity to still get rid of Joe. And if it was, we're getting rid of Desi because of Joe, it would have been, we're so scared he's going to play the idol. We can't put more votes on him. We have to put more votes on Desi. Whatever. Desi goes home. This situation, they actually re-voted and still voted Desi out. I don't know why they're giving Joe more of a chance to play, but if that's the way they're thinking and they want to keep around these unlikable people, Ben's going to go home.
Yeah, I think I think getting rid of Desi was a mistake.
So do I.
Just for that alliance. I just don't know how, if Joe finds an idol, if Joe flips his game upside down, they can't justify getting rid of Desi, because at least Desi would consider working with you. I don't know if Joe's ever going to work with them again.
Yeah, he never will. No way.
Yeah.
Joe's going to work with to get to the end. That's it.
Yeah. So with that, I've been a Joe number 9, Cole number 10. But they're all pretty interchangeable to me.
Yeah, I think you're probably more accurate with Cole going at 10 instead of Ben, just because last week they made it seem like that was his last hurrah. Like, he's got to win immunity. He wins immunity, and it's like, yeah, I did it. And that was like Cole's arc. Like, he got his little like redemption there. It was like, hey,
it's not going to happen 6 more times.
Exactly. And I still don't think Cole is threatening enough to get rid of yet, because his alliance numbers are dwindling and nobody can trust him because he's just got a big mouth. But maybe they do get rid of him instead of Joe, and it doesn't make any sense for the second straight week that Joe gets to survive. And maybe Joe is just you got to get rid of the Russell type player as soon as you can. And for some reason, this tribe didn't do it, and I'm a little scared for them.
Yeah, I don't know. It's well, we'll see what happens. But now, I mean, now I'm rethinking myself. I don't think Cole would go home, because like, now that we've broken it down, why would you get rid of Cole? He's not really hurting anyone. But at the same time, he is like, we gave Cole so much credit in this last episode because he did find an idol clue. Like, he's getting there. He's getting there.
Well, and I'll tell you too, though, I mean, don't listen to me when you're sitting here second guessing yourself, because I am having the worst performance I've ever had in these rankings.
That's a very
it's terrible.
I should I should trust my own gut on this.
Yeah, exactly. Just ignore everything I've said for the last 30 minutes.
Yeah. Should we go over to Twitter comments and we finished our predictions?
Twitter it is. Gamer Girl says, does Mike's winning chances improving each episode? Think about it. He's the only healer that's not being targeted at the moment. He's got an idol that no one knows about, and I think him being weak in challenges is helping him. He's also incredibly likable.
That was yeah, that's true. I think I think he's in a really good position. I think he'll go pretty far. I don't know where, like, now that Ben's not on the outs, but now that like Ben has become a quote unquote like controversial figure in the alliance, will Mike want to go in there with him? I'm not sure, but it seems like Mike is tighter with Lauren anyways, and Lauren is the prettiest girl at prom right now, so she's a good friend to have. Yeah,
and she doesn't. I think she realizes it, but nobody else does. I don't think anybody else realizes just how well Lauren is playing all of them, because she is playing such a solid under the radar game right now. And just the way she's convincing people, no, you're going to vote this way. I'm going to use my advantage, and you're still going to vote with me. She's doing a great job at it.
Gamer Girl again, when do you think Mike and Ryan will play their idols? I think Mike, it has been made clear that Mike is not playing this idol for anyone other than himself. He very well could have flipped this game on its head a while ago, and he didn't. And good for him, because that is his idol, and no one knows about it. The only person who knew about it is now not even on the jury.
Yep.
So Mike will play that when he thinks he's going to go home, which is probably not for a little bit. He probably has 2 or 3 more votes until he has to think about it.
Yeah.
Ryan, I'm not sure. Well, now we know that all these people are finding out about it, so he very well could use that next week.
Easily. He could easily use it this week or end up going home because he didn't. Easily. Giovanni Oriana, could Joe be a potential swing vote at Final 10? I don't know where he would come into his swing vote play, but I could see people trying to use Joe for sure. I just don't know the way it's going to shape up along alliances.
Yeah, I'm looking at this, and maybe let's just say that Ben and Devin, when they're talking on that rock about Ryan, if they decide to maybe blindside him, but what 2 people do they get and 2 people do they leave off?
Well, they would have to pull in Chrissy. Wait, who are they blindsiding?
They're blindsiding Ryan. Sorry, I could have said that.
Well, yeah, they couldn't pull in Chrissy then, even though Ben would try. They could probably pull in Mike, and they could probably pull in Lauren, though.
Pull in Mike and Lauren.
Mike and Lauren have no relationship with Ryan right now. I know Ryan and Lauren played together at the beginning, and Ryan kept Lauren around instead of keeping Patrick. But I don't think they really have too much going on right now.
Yeah, so then I guess you have JP, Chrissy, Ben, and Cole voting somewhere else, and then Joe decides.
No, because you're saying Ben would stick with Ben.
Oh, excuse me. So, Ashley and Cole. Sorry.
Yeah, Ashley and Cole. But I think Ashley votes wherever Devin votes.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't really see
I don't know if he'll be.
I don't think at Final 10 he would be a swing. I don't know.
He might not be a swing vote, but I could see him voting in the majority, if that makes sense.
Giovanni Oriana again. Is Chrissy's best chance to win to take Joe to the end? I mean,
probably. That's everybody's best chance.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that's so weird about this season is that anyone could be a winner and anyone could be a massive loser. So I don't know who's best chance. At this point, I don't know. I really don't know because we have the only jury member clearly does not have great feelings about Chrissy. A lot of people don't have great feelings about Joe. So I don't know. It's a toss-up.
Yeah. Giovanni says, what do you think of swearing on something on Survivor? To me, it means nothing. I hate to be like that, but I'm not a person who ever takes it. I'll swear to, I'm one of those people who we'll be playing a board game and it's I'll trade you this for that. I swear to God. I swear to God. I'm just, it means nothing to me. When I swear on things, but obviously for Ben, it means a lot more. So it totally depends on your situation. But if I went out there, I'd be swearing on everything and it would mean absolutely nothing. And if somebody tried to hold it over my head, I wouldn't care.
Yeah, I've actually been wanting to write something about this, but I'll probably do it in the off season because I don't think I would even swear on anything. I would just say I promise or I swear, whatever. Because to me, if someone comes up to me and they're I swear on my kids, I'd be why? Why? I didn't ask you to do that. Don't now you're just making it this big thing. So and I don't know. I understand where people like Trish and Ben are coming from. And so I think that's why I wouldn't want to do it because I know that people do take that very seriously and I don't take it seriously at all. So there would be zero gain for me to do that. And also I don't know, what am I going to go swear on my mom and then I don't know.
Exactly. For me, it's more of a figure of speech. And the way I look at it is Johnny Fairplay still would have won Pearl Islands if he got to Final 2. And he did the dead grandma. So to me, it's a game. And if somebody's forcing you to swear on something, I'll swear on whatever the hell you want if we're playing Survivor. I don't care. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I swear on it.
Well,
because you see that all the time now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's what's so weird to me. I have never played Survivor, so please, survivors who are watching this, correct me. But if I'm having a conversation, if Phil and I are having a conversation and we're kind of aligned, I wouldn't say, okay, Phil, swear on your shitty apartment. I wouldn't ask you to do that. But if you said, I swear on my whatever, I would be okay, well, the fact that he said that is just weird. And I wouldn't trust you. Yeah,
I always find it weird when they're swear on your kid, swear on your mother, swear on somebody's grave, swear on, it's why? What is that proving to? Literally them swearing on that is the same thing as being you have cooties.
Well, that's the thing. It feels like we're in middle school. You pinky promised me.
Yeah.
But what I did and we didn't see any of this in Game Changers, is Sarah brought this to the next level. And I think she she and Brad like traded. She gave Brad a bracelet, which she said was important to her, but I think was nothing. And Brad gave her like his wedding ring. And they said, we're going to the final 3 together. Yep. That's different. That is way, way different. And I thought that was great on Sarah's.
That's a great move. That's a great move because you're playing Survivor, and if you think people are going to come out there and be honest with you, you're out of your mind. Yeah,
that was a great move. And it involved something physical. That was the difference. Yeah. Like, words mean nothing on Survivor.
Yeah. Ryan Jakes Taylor, I think if they did another second chance this season soon, that this cast would make up a good part of it, like Hagging on in the first one. I agree. Larry Miller says, unrelated to Survivor, but since Phil likes Pixar, are you and Alexa excited about Incredibles 2?
You like he knows that you like Pixar?
I guess I've mentioned it before.
Yeah. I'm pumped. I love The Incredibles.
The Incredibles is like one of my least favorite Pixar movies.
Oh my gosh.
But like every Pixar's...
No capes. No capes.
Yeah, well, obviously. No capes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like even a bad Pixar movie is still really good.
Yeah, I'm like really excited for it.
You skipped the most important Larry Miller question.
What are your favorite types of pasta?
Pasta. I like orzo. I'm a big orzo fan.
I mean, I eat pretty much any of it. It all kind of tastes the same. I like ravioli. Can I say that, or is that not allowed?
I don't know, Phil. That's pretty bad. Yeah, that's
Survivor. Survivor Patty. Will Ryan and Devin flip to Joe to get rid of Ben?
I don't think so. I don't know. I think we just kind of went down this whole rabbit hole of Devin and Ben would flip to get Ryan. So I don't know. I don't see a reason to get rid of Ryan right now from a player standpoint. Yeah, because from a viewer standpoint, like we see how hard he's playing, but I feel like the players don't see that.
Yeah, although Ben could go if like Ryan finds out that Ben told Devin about the idol, and then Devin goes back and is like, "Why'd you do that? I want to see if I can trust him." Well, you couldn't, and then all right, should we jump over to YouTube, read a couple comments on YouTube, and then get out of here?
Yeah, go for it. I think I have it up.
Sorry, I'm looking at the live chat. My favorite thing is like when you say like one of your least favorite Pixar movies, that still means it's like a dope movie. But I love how that like means like I didn't like The Incredibles.
Yeah, I'm
like
people are not
movie,
happy about what I said about your apartment. That was a Courtney and Shane reference, everybody.
Oh my God. Like, come on. Yeah, swear on your shitty apartment. Come on. It's all right.
All right. So okay, here we go.
You can read this if you want, but I'm totally gonna cut Nick P off here. And you already had this argument with me, but I just am not buying it. So if you want to do this, if you want to go down this rabbit hole, let's do it.
Rabbit hole's totally our new thing. So I don't know what. I was actually kind of more looking at the ones up top because they're more recent, but I'm assuming that's about the Ryan and Chrissy thing.
Yeah, it's about the Ryan and Chrissy thing.
So Phil and I are pretty much disagreeing. Like, you guys throw your hats in the ring because we like actually have not come to a conclusion about it. As whether or not. Well, we have not come to a together because you and I see it differently. So we're like trying to figure out whether or not Chrissy knew that Ryan had the idol when she went to go for the dig. And I feel like we're kind of at the point where we just need to ask Chrissy herself. Mm-hmm. So Chrissy, if you're listening, please hit us up. Because it would be really cool to get an answer on that. No, I was reading like the more recent ones and they're kind of random.
Let's not read too many random ones. Let's read like some.
Well, not random, just like, here you go. Yeah.
Well, I don't really know where to read.
I don't really love any of these. Yeah.
I was just going to read that where it's like about the idol digging. I think Chrissy did hear Ryan. I think she was trying to cover it up like Ryan said. But once Cole came running and started acting like she was digging for it to cover up for Ryan, I think that's more plausible than just saying she didn't hear Ryan, especially considering Chrissy has shown a very smart player is able to think on her feet. My problem with that is Cole hadn't started running over yet. She was already digging. She was digging like a mad woman. And then Cole noticed that she was digging. Cole was still off taking his pee. And then he goes, cover that up. And then she starts digging. And then Cole comes over after she had already started digging. So I'm not buying that. She might have noticed at some point, Ryan might have been able to give her like a hint like, hey, I have it. And then at that point, what are you going to do? But I'm not buying like this whole theory that she knew the entire time and she was just trying to, blow it up. Because at that point, just don't do anything and make Cole keep digging there.
Well, now our argument is kind of going into the like, okay, at what point did she know? Because that picture, there's like a picture floating around of her looking at Ryan like, with his like Christmas morning grin on her face.
It's a really well timed photo. That's all.
No one makes that face. That is a knowing look.
Do you know what face you make at every millisecond of your life? That is just a photo that was perfect.
She's actively smiling at him.
No, but you accidentally smile. Like that would have been looked at as a smile.
If I'm digging for an idol, I'm not going to look up and smile at the sky.
But you look up and you're like sweating.
No, I'm going to be shoving Cole out of the way, or probably getting shoved out of the way by Cole.
I'm telling you, it's just a perfectly well timed. That is from a video. You can find any little image that you need in a video.
But when you're digging for an idol, why would you look up and smile in the middle of fighting?
Well, because people are running over like crazy. The entire tribe is running down on them. She's probably looking up like, Ryan, why aren't you helping me? And then she probably does realize, but she's not looking up smiling, being like, hey, oh, we got him. And I can't wait for Chrissy to confirm that.
Yeah, I can't wait for Chrissy to come on this podcast and tell us the answer either way.
Yeah, well, that will work too. I'll take that. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, look, I think it's cool, but you know, we got to have our theories. We're supposed to disagree on some things, but I'm trying to figure out if that's actually Will. Will sent me like a video of like, I guess from like the behind the scenes of the challenge, and it's a GIF, and it's like one of the Dream Teamers just dropping immediately. It's so funny. I can't tell if he's doing it because it's him or he's doing it because it's somebody else, but it's really funny. Anyway, all right, let's do shoe 14. This is important. There's no way that Ryan heartbeat was his heart. It was between his ribs and his abdomen. I think it was a muscle spasm. It was 1,000,000,000% his heart.
I'm not a doctor, so I do not have any authorization to say whether or not it was a heart murmur, a heartbeat, or a muscle spasm. Like whatever it was, I don't think I need to see it again.
It was his heart. Yeah, I agree though. Don't need to see it again. I'm just like kind of rolling a little bit here.
Yeah.
Well, do.
Maybe just do like one or two more.
I mean, I'm just kind of like looking to see like what's going on.
Yeah, there's not like a ton. Yeah.
Patty asks if we've been reading the blog rag magazine She Knows scathing article on Chrissy, supposedly by Desi, but this blog has a reputation of making things up, so read with a grain of salt like Chrissy has some poor jury.
I think someone posted that in like the previously on Survivor Facebook page. Is it called like She Knows or something?
Yeah, it is She Knows.
Yeah, that was the one that I read, and that was the one that had the most shock value, where I was like, wow. So
Patty's saying that they make stuff up, which is not generally
cool.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Let's do this one. Noah Vandenberg, do you think edits matter this season? I thought Jessica was going to win because she had a lot of screen time without going to tribal, but she ends up pre-jury. I'm really starting to think that the editors knew that we were catching on, and then that's why Michelle was a little bit different. Adam was a little bit different. Sarah's win was even a little bit different. I mean, Sarah's was a little bit more obvious, but that was a tough one because it was just such an all-over-the-place season. I think that they're really putting some effort into this. Maybe they're not. Maybe I'm making that up, but it just feels like it. It feels like I'm getting more
well, we're getting, I mean, what we've been saying from the beginning is that we've been getting more character moments. We've been getting a lot more camp life. So there has been at least a shift from game changes. I'm going to have to rewatch Millennials vs. Gen X to see how much of a change it's been between that season and this one. But we are getting a lot more personality.
Yeah, we're getting, it's a smaller cast, and I don't know, maybe it was just easier to edit them. I don't know. Matt Crowley, could this be a bitter jury towards Chrissy, and therefore the win is rewarded to a Lauren or a Devin? Maybe. I mean, I don't know.
I feel like it could be a bitter jury kind of overall.
Yeah, I mean, this is a darker group. This is a darker group of people playing this game. I mean, there's a lot of anger towards other people on there. Like, Ben hates Cole. He's been doing nothing but disrespected me. Like, that's what he said. You know, and I think this is a lot darker of a group than I at least expected. I thought this was going to be super fun, and they are really fun, but they are dark.
Yeah, you want to just do one more?
I'm trying to find one more. I was scrolling. Well, the problem is, like, we talked about like so much of this on the podcast. I want to just keep repeating it. And I refreshed the page and things went crappy. Well, I'll read the fantasy game scores. Alexa has 117, I have 107, and Vaughn has 96. So even though I probably won't win that, at least I can beat Vaughn at something. And then he's got Chrissy, Ben, and Mike. They're not going to win.
That's 3 people who very well could win.
Alexa, you have the winner on your team. Let's be honest.
JP, you're right.
Yeah, JP, that's what I meant.
So actually go to our Facebook page for our boot list and our prop bet. Boot list and prop bet scores. For the boot list, Phil has 64 points. I have 45 points. And Adam Klein is winning with 20 points. For the prop bet, Phil has 8. I have 5. And then we have 2 people, Reg Shofan and Zvi Zukier with 17 points.
You better say that right.
Desi was an absolute boot list crusher. I mean, Allie, Jessica, and Desi back to back, like destroyed everyone's boot list. So anyone who is still like in the 20s or 30s, that's very, very impressive.
Just wait till Lauren goes.
Oh yeah, and Lauren, it's great. And Lauren's gonna break up Adam's too, because Adam had Lauren at 18. For all of those people who want to beat Adam at something. What was I gonna say? Yeah, Ryan got MVP, Ben got LVP, and so yeah, I'll be writing my MVP spotlight of Ryan tonight. I'm gonna try to get that out all day before Wednesday's episode.
Yeah, so there you go.
Do you want me to close it out?
That's really about it. Yeah, we're down to 10 people. And this, it's Thanksgiving on Thursday. So we will still be podcasting Wednesday night, though.
Yes, we'll be podcasting Wednesday night. I'll probably have to be whispering the entire time because I'll be in a small apartment with my parents, my brother, and my dog, which will be great. Hopefully he'll make a special guest appearance. So yeah, in the meantime, check out my MVP spotlight of Ryan tonight or tomorrow morning. Tweet at us, comment on this video Wednesday night, and we'll possibly read those comments after the episode. In the meantime, like us on Facebook, tweet at us, follow us on iTunes, give us 5 stars, go to our website, and we will be back on Wednesday.
I like when you do the needy part at the end. It's like we sound so needy. We save it all for the end, and then it's like, by the way, guys, please, we're begging.
Please love us.
Please, 5 stars now.
I put so much effort into this website.
Yeah, seriously, we're getting there. We might change the name soon. We're getting there. All right, yeah, we'll see you Wednesday after the episode.
Bye.
Oh yeah, you have it. I don't.
Yeah.